Okay, what is up, my nerds? Yeah, this is pretty cool. The owner of Long Island City Everyday Carry, which you probably know as LIC EDC, his name's Jamie Acker, and he has allowed me to purchase his prototype Edamame, the full size, in copper. I'm honored. He says I am the first person to lay hands on an edamame other than him. And other than, resin printed ones. So there have been people that have had some prototypes in the resin, which is what you kind of get a spinner made in first, just to, see how it's going to feel before you go ahead and get a machinist to make it in full metal. But wow, so I'm going to get to try a copper edamame here, and this is all happening, about a week before the tungsten ones are coming out, and I have it on Jamie's authority that there will be copper ones like this available as well. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because I don't want to. I'm not really into unboxings anymore. I find it's better to kind of open it up and get a better sense of it before I go and give a review on it. But this is kind of special to me, and I wanted to make sure that you saw it exactly as, it came out of the package here, right? Before I get any, beautiful patina going on it. So, yeah, I mean, this thing is, yeah. So this is right away. This is a great weight, and wow. So just yeah. So before I say anything else, this reminds me. You see the light pattern that we're getting here? Reminds me of the Catla right away. Let me grab the Catla. I'll show you this. So the Catla creates similar sorts of light shows. You see that? Especially if you have one in not tungsten and some sort of a flamed kind of metal with a color. So, I mean, that just distracted me right away, but look at that. Whoa. I don't know if that's just my camera effect, but that's pretty cool. I'm also seeing it. I'm seeing it off camera here too. It's not doing so much of those crazy little warpy ball things, but that's actually pretty neat. It reminds me of some sort of loading screen from like Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom or something. Okay, so this is a comfy spin right away. And I knew that, I knew that going into it. That's why I was part of the pre-order for the tungsten ones. It's like it's a cross between the Catla, being that full round sort of bar, and then, something like the Collision being square, or the Spinema thing, being square. It's like it melded from one to the other or something. You know what I mean? Yeah. Wow. It's right away. It's comfy. I like it. It's comfy. This is like, there's no hot spots. It's just like Jamie was talking about. Give you a little what it's sounding like in there. I don't know what bearing he has in it. I'll open it up in a sec here. Let's take a look. But like I said, I don't want to give too much opinion on it right now before I have had some time with it. So let's see. Let's give it a measure here. Oh, I have it in inches. I don't really want that right now. .62, it's a long one. 62 mil. To give a comparison, Collision is 55. So it's longer than the collision. That's pretty big. Spinama thing, 50, right? Catla's about 55. Yeah, 55. Big boy. Let's do that one more time. Make sure I got that right. It is round, so yeah, 62 mil. Let's put that in inches for you. Basically 2.5 inches. It's 2.5 inch spin diameter. All right. Let's do a width this way. About an inch. So that'll come out to about 25 mil. Yeah, there you go. We'll do a thickness this way. Basically 15 mil. Give that to you in imperial. Half an inch, right? Half an inch, inch. The buttons will be an inch. Yeah, inch. So you got inch, 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 half inch, 2.5 inch long. Yeah, that's fidgety. Okay, let's weigh it. Wow, that's heavier than I thought. That's weird. Man, that's the heaviest patina one I have now. So 120, look at that, 124 on the dot. Oh, yeah, 124 on the dot. That's crazy. Okay, so I mean, this is my Spinama thing. It doesn't have the stock buttons on it, but it hardly ever pushes 100. And then my mothership. This one, 104. That's crazy. So there you go, copper, right? Copper is, between like, brass and bronze and that kind of thing. Copper tends to be one of the heaviest. But it doesn't feel that heavy. It's weird, that difference. Okay. So one more thing. Let's just open it up. See what Jamie's thrown in here. Oh, looks like hybrid ceramic. Looks like he's put a Fushi in there, which is great. Very, very smooth, buttery soda bearing. I have lots of them. I love them. I think he actually suggested them to me in the beginning. But yeah, so we got some speed holes there. Very beautiful. And look at the mirror finish on this. You can see the phone holder and me recording it. That's crazy. So that's partly what's creating that those really crazy light shows. Buttons here. Oh, I guess I didn't do the height of the buttons. It's pretty standard. So it looks like he's got that, to me, without measuring it, post of that looks like it's an M4 millimeters. Yeah, so we got an M4 post in there, and it's probably, can I do it with my fingers? Yeah, it's not in there yet. It's probably, we're looking at a 1/4 inch one or something. 6 mil, right? Pretty standard. That's what Cap uses for all their stuff, is a M4 post, 6 mil. And then when you, that's why when you like, when you go up with shims or something like that, you have to go up to like a 10 mil long post. Okay, so buttons. I think that's going to be pretty standard thickness. We're probably looking at like 5/8 or something like that. So, what do I have it in right now? Millimeters. So 15, 16 mil. Yeah, 16 mil is about 5/8. Yeah, 0.6 of an inch. That is very comparable to, say, Modusworks buttons. 5/8. or cap collision buttons. And then when you go up, you go like 313 buttons or something like that. They're all 3/4, about 19 mil. So just gonna pop those in, see if that looks good, feels good, I don't know. And then that's it. I'm not doing anything more. I want to, spend some more time with this, okay? So, look at that. So standard 1-inch buttons, they fit fine, easy. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice so far. Okay, that's it. That's all I'm doing right now. To be continued. I will be making another little part to this video, and I'll just stitch it on. So I'm gonna go and take this and go watch some Disney Plus and fidget with it and see how it feels. Okay, more later. Cheers. Hey nerds, so that's quite enough time. I think it's been a few days, and yeah, I'm convinced this thing's freaking rad. All right, so I went and after the first video that I went and watched some Disney, and what I really tried to do is I tried to get my fingers to hurt using this thing, and I couldn't. And I texted Jamie Acker about it, and I said, dude, I've been trying to find hot spots on this. And he was like, yeah, good luck. I'll wait, basically. See if you can. And I can't, okay? So I want to talk about why that is. But first, there's actually this really cool thing you can do. So if you take your finger and you just sort of spin it like this, right? And then you just go like that, and then you pretend that the button is a subscribe and like button. That really helps me out, man. Okay, so Jamie Acker, the designer, used to be a designer at the industrial level, okay? So he knows his shit. And what he has created here is basically a 100% hot spot free spinner. It is, I've been spinning it for days, and I can't get my fingers to hurt. So if you don't know what I mean by hotspot, these are hotspot spinners, okay? They're great spinners, but they have got an edge on them, and I'll show you what happens. So when you're spinning in slow motion, you see this, you're gonna come this way, and a lot of time your finger, it'll press right into there, like that. See that? So that, in turn, for me at least, creates just a little bit of strain right here. You start to feel it after a while, right? Just with the side of your finger pushing into your nail like that. And of course that can be avoided by, spinning less hard, not, pulling so much, and, it's just not so hog wild on it, right? And there's nothing wrong with these spinners. It's just that, that exists because of that edge, right? Here it's the same thing. This one almost a little less so because of this chamfer along here. You can kind of just grab that and then just pull from the top like that. But this one, even so, when I really start going with it, I can find that the corner here can start to dig in. And again, it's an amazing spinner. I'm never gonna get rid of it. Even the mothership that I'm just in love with has edges here. So any of them with those square edges, they will give you, some hot spots, right? This, it just doesn't exist. It doesn't. It kind of baffled me at first, but I did remember Jamie mentioning something about that before I even signed up for the tungsten pre-order for this. And he's right, man. This rounded ergonomic design, it's the comfiest spinner I've ever used. Hands down. Yeah, so I took notes, right? Because I gotta, make sure I get this all in here. So, right, the spin diameter. So when I measured it in the last video, I was a little I was a little confused that this is a 62 millimeter long spinner. It doesn't seem that way at all. And that's basically coming up on 2.5 inches, 2.46, call it 2.5 inches. So that kind of spin diameter, I know for some people you can kind of go, sorry, that's too big for me, too big for my hand. I'm not going to be able to use that. The max I'm going to do is like 55 mil or something like that. But this one, there's an optical illusion that's getting created, right? So when I first saw it, I thought this is not that, it doesn't have that big of a spin diameter, but it's these rounded edges that creates the illusion because you can't see a square end. And your brain wants to see a square end because, you see like plans and you go, yep, the line from there down to the line from there, and then that's the measurement, right? But on something that's so rounded, you can't really discern as much where it is. So you don't really know, or at least I didn't really, clue in that you've got this nice big whir of a spin diameter there. And I didn't really pick up that wow, that's like 2.5 inches. And by then I was already in love with it. And then it's great. So spin diameter is a little bit bigger, but negligible. Doesn't matter. Buttons. So this would be, for me, this would be a con for this. I am going to be honest about it. But I err on the side with buttons because, like I've said in some other spinner videos, I don't know if I have some sort of condition where I just don't like the stock buttons. And it's not that there's anything wrong with these buttons. They got a nice deep dish in there. Not the deepest you've ever had, but there's enough that, you're getting a good grip in there. But I think it's a contrast thing. I really appreciate designers like Auto Designs. He ships out a lot of his spinners with a different metal button included, right? Ooh. So if you get say the brass one, you're gonna get some stainless steel ones with it, or you get the any of his tungsten ones, you get some titanium ones with it, right? So to me, there's a contrast thing going on. It's I hardly ever want the same metal to be on the spinner of whatever metal it is. So copper, I want, something silver, and then something silver, I want something, copper looking or, patina looking. But I don't know. I'm probably going to put these buttons on my tungsten edamame when it gets here. Because, that'll just contrast them more. It's great. And then one thing that I found to be a little bit not that great is that I don't think it's in all the way. So yeah, it looks like it's better than it is. So the post on this thing that's screwed in all the way. That's hardly anything on there. That's like one turn at best. That makes me nervous, right? So I would want a longer post on that. Not a very big comb because it's easily fixed, and a lot of the time you can just find another post on another spinner you like and swap it out. But for example, so this is an M4 on the diameter, means 4 millimeter diameter, and then in millimeters we're looking at 6 mil on the length. So really I would take an 8 mil is what I would want. That's pretty standard, I'd say. You get an 8 mil for any kind of spinner that's not retention fit, because retention fit, it sits down deeper in there. You need a longer stem. So if it's not retention fit, and if it's press fit or slip fit like this, you want an 8 mil. And then when you start shimming, you want to go up to a 10 mil length in your set screw. So 6 mil, too short. Needs to be a little bit longer. That can be fixed by, simply screwing it in a little bit, maybe half of that, and then leave about 3 mil hanging out. And then you can cut, what's it called? The blue stuff, Loctite. You can put a little dab of Loctite on there and then screw it into where you want it. and then leave it, and that'll just like keep it right there, and then you're good. So moving on with buttons, what I found is that these ended up being my favorite. So these are Savobo buttons from 313 Inc. You probably all know that I have this weird obsession with Savobo buttons. They're just very comfortable and deep dished. But for some reason, wow, these work so good on this edamame. And it's the contrast and it's the roundedness complementing the roundedness of the bar. So this is it's just like, it's a match made in heaven, in my opinion. And it gets a little louder. And it's just so comfy to use. So, one more, I want to get through the cons first. One more con. This one's sort of like a like a con but a pro at the same time. It's the polish, right? Usually I don't go for a polish. Usually I'm more into something, you know, bead blasted or something like that. You know, something that looks older, you know, more patina. But where this one, the polish, I find on a rare occasion if my hands are super clean and dry, I'm having a little bit of grip issues. It usually goes away after a few spins and my fingers start to tack up and I'm okay, right? But with this one, it's like, I don't know if I actually want something other than a polish because it's like mirror finish and the whole bobble looking thing of it, like you can see me recording there, right? That's how mirror finish it is. And then in turn, like I was doing in the first half of this video, it just picks up any light source and just looks so cool. It's literally like, you know, my imagination goes off and it feels like I'm like casting a fireball spell in my hand or something like that. It's so crazy cool. So I don't know yet if Jamie would offer different finishes. I haven't heard anything like that from him. I forgot to ask, but we will see in the future. But for now, I'm fine with it, you know. I love this thing. I'm so honored to have a prototype and that Jamie trusted me with it. So, I'm going to spout some information at you here, okay? Because you need to know this, because you need this spinner, all right? What we got here? So we did that. We talked about that. Okay, so the warps on this thing, okay? So I'm going to put some warp videos up while I'm talking about this. This thing's a freaking warp machine. It's unbelievable. It looks so cool. It's kind of like the Dune, if you know the Dune by Handspun Designs, or the kind of similar to maybe the Katla too, with the rounded design, just the way the warps go. So it's like it's so easy to get it. Just one of the first videos I'll show you is me just like being able to get it like right into a warp zone on a spin. You can just figure out that right flick. And the first flick, it's just warping. And then it's just so much fun to watch. It's like this, it's like it's like you're melting metal in your hands. Casting more spells, if you will. Yeah, unbelievable. Of course, I can't speak to the tungsten yet. Tungsten will be heavier. And in turn, I find that ends up making it a bit harder to warp sometimes. You really got to rip it. But this copper thing's just a machine. Just a warp machine. I took probably more warp videos than I needed to, just like over and over again, just wanting to look at it and stuff. So the bearing doesn't really have anything to do with like, you know, getting it, but the funny thing is that I was thinking about which bearing I wanted to put in there after, because I wanted something a little noisier than the Fushi. It's either the Fushi or a Jupiter that Jamie shot in there when he sent it over to me, and those are great. They're smooth, they're buttery, but they're very quiet bearings. So I wanted something a little bit louder, and I was looking through my unquiet hand bearings that I had, and I had one that I hadn't used, and it was called the Quantum. And so I was joking with my wife. I was like, hey honey, look, this is the edamame, and edamames are beans, and I put a quantum bearing in it, so this is the quantum bean, And she was like, that's nice, honey. Great. Cool. It's very pretty. Thanks, hon. So yeah, I've got a quantum bearing in there from Unquiet Hands, and it is awesome. It actually broke in. It was weird. At first, it wasn't like quite as good, and you know, some bearings break in sometimes. And yeah, broke in, and oh, God, it's so good now. Love it. This one, I can hardly let it stop spinning. Okay, I can hardly let it spin for more than like a few seconds, and then I just want to do that rip again, and I can't get my fingers tired. So the rips are all happening mainly right up here. So you'll see that like there's nowhere, the only thing that gets engaged is the pad of your finger. You can even you don't need to go out that far. That's a bit of a reach, right? With that spin diameter, you don't need to do that, right? The grip is all there. So you have, and you can go right on top and still rip, but a lot of it's happening just over the top of this, like right here. And you can just, I don't know, I can get this thing like just flinging. It's got a great gyroscopic effect, especially with that added spin diameter. It does slow down quite a bit. If you turn it, like it will lose speed quite quickly. But if you're slower with it, you can still move it around a bit. Just such a fun, casual, lazy sort of spinner. Okay, what else? So, what I want to talk about is, okay, so here's you're going to need to get this thing, okay? Everyone needs one of these things. I just want to give you some info that Jamie gave me, okay? So, if you weren't paying attention in the first half of the video, it is Long Island City Everyday Carry and or LIC EDC. There is a Facebook group, and the link will be in the description. Jamie Acker is the designer, and his Facebook profile will be linked in the description as well. All of these drops that I'm going to be talking about and what he's planning for this thing will be happening on the LIC EDC Facebook group. So go join it right now. I don't even care. Pause the video, go join it, then pick it up, okay? You gotta have this thing. So what's happening now is that a lot of you know there was a pre-order for tungsten edamame. I got in on that. Really happy I did. Those are basically shipping next week is the hope. He's gotten that go ahead from the machinist, and yeah, they're coming out next week. So when that is out, afterwards he is probably be going to do some very small batches of the full edamame in some like copper, stainless steel, titanium. Titanium, although too probably light for me, would probably just rip. Just freaking rip. You probably instantly enter, like, you get a speed up there where you'd be in the second warp zone already, or above the second warp zone, and then you'd get down into that second warp zone, and then you could keep slowing it down and hit another warp zone. That's my theory, I'm pretty sure. So that would be pretty insane. I know a lot of you guys love the titanium spinners, so definitely want to get on that. And then we're probably going to be looking at a pre-order for the Minimame. So the funny thing about the Minimame is it's called the mini edamame, right? And when you look at it, you think, oh, wow, that's really mini. But I was talking to Jamie about it, and it's 49.5 millimeters long. So this thing is 62. A Spinema thing is 50 mil. So it's hardly actually a mini. But again, you're getting that you're getting that optical illusion going with the roundedness where it makes it look like it's shorter than it is. But yeah, like 50 mil, that's a pretty standard size for, a standard size spinner. So the full size edamame, if anything, is a bit of like a larger spinner, and this Minimame, where it's mini in comparison to the full edamame, is still, kind of a pretty standard size. So he's going to be doing a pre-order on that, possibly next. Yeah, we got that. There's a chance if there's interest. So this is, as in all these things, it's one of those things where you need to give the interest, and then if the numbers are there, a designer can go ahead and start doing more pre-orders. So he's even thinking about doing some resin ones in the full edamame. Okay, so if any of you have already been on his Facebook group, You would probably have seen some of the prototypes that come out. I was mentioning that before, that you usually want to get a resin one made up of a prototype before you go ahead and, you know, purchase a full metal one to get that machined, just to see how it's feeling, how it's working. So I think he was thinking of actually even doing some in that to sell, which would be pretty cool for any of the people out there that like, you know, the Ultim spinners and stuff like that. And then, yeah, if there's a lot of interest in this, especially like after the mini Mame pre-order that he's planning to do, he'd consider doing another pre-order for this, you know, or maybe small batches, but maybe another full pre-order, right? And it could, you know, be in multiple metals, all that stuff. So show interest, and we will be getting more of probably the comfiest spinner I have ever used. Yeah. Okay, guys. So I think that's it. Let's go look at my notes here again. Yeah, we talked about that. That's how into it this one is. I never make notes for a video. I really don't. I just kind of let it. I'll go off my head, but I really wanted to make sure I got a lot of the info out there. Okay. Cool. Also, Jamie's gonna be making some tri-spinners. Okay, so I think there's already you can go onto his Facebook group and you can look at some videos he has out there gauging interest on some of them. He's got a great looking one out there, tri-spinner. It's yeah, looks like it's got bigger buttons, like 28 mil buttons. I think everyone was in on that one. Just looks so comfy. So Jamie Acker knows comfort when it comes to these. It comes to spinners. Okay, guys. That's it. You know, there you go. Get it. Do it. That's what I'm saying. I've been addicted to this thing. Just can't put it down. It's so much fun. Look at the light show. It's like little wormholes or something like that. It's great. I'm such a nerd. All right. Okay, that's about it, guys. Cheers, nerds. Have a good one. Bye.